Welcome back, friends, to The Pulse. I am David Harris Jr., and it was Hollywood's biggest night last night. But politics once again took center stage at the 2026 Academy Awards. Now, some of the stars who cared to attend still find it necessary to lecture the rest of the country on just how oppressive it is living under this regime of President Trump. The event was a mind-numbing 3 hours and 45 minutes. Featuring celebrities congratulating themselves and wailing about the struggles of society that actually don't impact their lives one bit. That was hosted by comedian and former late-night host Conan O'Brien. But the night wouldn't be complete without the martyr for free speech himself, Jimmy Kimmel.
There are some countries whose leaders don't support free speech. I'm not at liberty to say which. Let's just leave it at North Korea and CBS.
Oh, the irony. Freely criticizing America and Trump for the millionth time while saying you don't have free speech. Joining me now, actor and director Kevin Sorbo. Kevin, thanks for joining The Pulse this evening. Now, as if that wasn't enough, listen to what he said on the red carpet.
Yes, I'm exhausted. Of course, it's ridiculous. We live in a ridiculous country. We always lived in a ridiculous country, but it was always ridiculous in a fun Mr. T kind of way. Right. Now we've got a different Mr. T.
Kevin, what are your thoughts on old Jimmy Kimmel there?
Well, he's an interesting guy, and all those people sitting on those seats are all living under the world of capitalism. They all became wealthy and successful because of capitalism. They can scream socialism all they want or communism all they want. So if they really want to be under that sort of thing, there's plenty of countries that I'm happy for my tax dollars to pay them a one-way ticket to North Korea, even Venezuela, because they got a long way to go, anywhere in the Middle East but Israel, and even Russia. There's some wonderful places they can all move and have the utopia they want to turn America into.
I would add to that pot if they would leave, but we know they're not going to go anywhere. Now, it wouldn't be an award show, Kevin, if a celebrity didn't scream Free Palestine. Watch.
Yes.
No to war and Free Palestine.
Kevin, they applaud this guy as if he said something profound, but they said nothing about the thousands of Iranians slaughtered by the Iranian regime just a few months ago. Well, why do you think that is?
Well, they don't want to talk about that. And those people that cheer so loudly, isn't Hollywood mostly Jewish? I mean, when I was part of Hollywood, my managers, my agents, my attorneys, my accountants, everybody, they were all Jewish. I mean, Hollywood was formed with really under the Jewish bubble. It really was. People don't realize the Warner Brothers, from Warner Brothers Studios, that they were conservative. They believed in capitalism. And I don't care what they say at Netflix or Amazon or any of the networks or studios. They all like making money. Who are we kidding here? The hypocrisy shows and bleeds through these guys all the time. But this is the world we're living in right now. I haven't watched the Oscars in 15, 16. I can't remember the last time I watched the Oscars. I don't want to waste my time because all they do, they don't care. Their ratings have gone down every single year. Nobody cares about them anymore, but they don't care. They love living in their little bubble, just like the Democrats in D.C., and they all can hug each other and kumbaya. But, people just don't care about what they're doing, but they don't care right back.
No, I'm hoping that more Americans like you, I haven't watched them in at least 15, if not 20 years.
No,
I'm hoping that more Americans do the same. And, the same celebrities who lecture us about the environment and who tell us to put others first are the same people who leave the iconic Dolby Theater a mess for the help to clean up. I mean, look at that. It's just disgusting. They don't care. They're just throwing trash, leaving their trash. When I go to a movie, Kevin, and I get popcorn and I get soda, and if my grandbabies get candy or whatever it is for that splurge, we clean up after ourselves. It's a decent thing to do. Why do these people they just don't care? Is that their mindset? It's just leave it for the help?
They just don't care. Look, I got police buddies of mine in Washington, D.C. When they have the pro-life people come into town, the pro-life marches, they say they're the most nicest, peaceful people. There's no mess afterwards. When the pro-choice people come in, the ones that say, live or we're going to murder you, they have the pro-choice. Those are the two choices. They leave the place looking like that or even worse. And what does that say about them? I think people can make their own mind up on that.
Yeah, it speaks volumes. Now, the Oscars now have diversity, equity, and inclusion rules for Best Picture. Let's take a look at a couple from the Academy Awards website itself. The main storyline of the film is centered on an unrepresented people group, LGBTQ plus or people with disabilities. And of course, at least 6 crew members are from an unrepresented racial group. Was this happening back when you were actually still going to the Oscars and cared and were in a lot of amazing movies? Do you remember any of this kind of nonsense bogging up the rules there?
No, really started creeping in probably about 10 years ago is when it started happening. And that's why I stopped watching for a reason. I mean, it's like, just vote for the best person. Doesn't matter what's going on. Look, that ruling set up now means the majority of the movies that won Best Picture would never have won. Would never have won. Casablanca wouldn't have won. Requiem for a Heavyweight never would have won. Lawrence of Arabia never would have won. All these amazing movies never would have won Oscars. So it's interesting. I saw something from last year's Cannes Film Festival, and I can't remember the actor's name. He's very famous. You would know him, recognize him right away. And they're talking about the movie they made. He's from Denmark, talking about this movie made about Denmark in the 14th century. And a reporter stands up and says, why didn't you have any blacks in it? Why didn't you have more diversity in there? He goes, well, it was set in the 14th century. We didn't have any black people. It was all white in the 14th century. But Hollywood is just like our public schools. They want to rewrite history. They want to change everything to fit whatever craziness that world they want to live in.
Do you think that there's any hope for Hollywood? There's a lot of people that are moving, building studios outside of Hollywood, from Georgia to Texas to Oklahoma. A lot of people are just leaving Hollywood. Do you think there's any hope left for Hollywood, or is it dying? Is it on its way out?
You know, with Netflix coming in and Amazon coming in, that changed Hollywood a lot. And now you've got all these independent people out there like me through SorboStudios.com making our own type of movies. So, you know, we're there to fight the good fight and keep it going. And I think that Hollywood's going to probably wake up a little bit. I know that I've got contacted by a couple of people to see some of my family movies that Hollywood used to do, see some of the scripts that I have. So there's a slight change. They're realizing there's 80 million homes out there that want movies that families can go to. They want movies about love and hope and redemption and laughter and forgiveness. Hollywood doesn't want to do that. I mean, if you look at, I don't know, if Disney, at $1.8 billion of losses in the last couple of years, if I'm a stockholder, I don't think I'd be too happy with what Disney's doing. So maybe they'll wake up eventually, but it really is crazy. The wokeness is just nuts. I've always said, imagine if God was woke. So
yeah, well, I appreciate you. I think America appreciates you. Keep doing what you're doing, Kevin Sorbo. God bless you, brother. Thanks for joining the Pulse tonight.
SorboStudios.com.
Definitely. I'm still waiting for my invite. I'll be. I don't have to be a lead, Kevin. I'm not gonna be a lead. I'll just come in.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.